Hello and welcome, folks. Got some dinos for you today. Well, mostly dinos. They're partly dinos. Enough not dinos that I can't use Kaheera as a companion dinos. That's simple enough. Okay, so where did this deck birth from and where is it going? So you can kind of get the train of thought. This deck was built off of Siegehorn Ceratops, which everyone's like, yeah, this will never fly. This will never work. This will never do anything. It turns out that it takes an eternal format for it to be good. But whatever. There's a lot of cards in here that are going to make you cockeye a little bit. Anyway, Siegehorn Ceratops. Enrage. When it's dealt damage, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. We are coupling that with cards like Primal Might, which really helped. Like this card set this deck off. And then Savage Stomp, the natural dino fight spell. So piling those together to make gigantic Siegehorn Ceratops. How's the deck work beyond that? Well, the Imperial Lancer, the card that was never in the discussion in any dino deck ever while it was in standard, it's in this deck. Why? Because Primal Might. Primal Might, making a double striker massive. Yeah, it's big. Okay, so a few other things. We tried to get as many cheap dinos, like we're not playing any ramp dinos. We're not doing that. Well, this deck is super low to the ground. The only reason I'm doing a video on this is because Collected Company, I just added to the deck, but before that, the curve ended at 3. Yeah. This is the smallest dinos, but also the biggest dinos. So anyways, also at the bottom, well, I better explain some of the cards because they're not well known. So Imperial Lancer, double strike as long as you control a dinosaur. No problem. We can do that. But that's where the buffs come in. So you make it a large double striker. Pelt Collector, Experiment 1, whatever. It grows whenever a creature comes in or dies with greater power toughness. So ideally, what this was combined with was Huatli's Raptor, where you get to proliferate. So Huatli's Raptor comes in, makes it a 2/2, proliferates, makes Pelt Collector a 3/3 attacking on turn 2. That's the plan there. So a little bit of synergy there. Additionally, Huatli's Raptor working well with Savage Stomp. Now, Bozriket used to be in the deck for Collected Company. And so we used to get, we used to sneak Bozriket ultimates off like crazy with Huatli's Raptor, but that's no longer the case here. But I mean, you can buff a Siegehorn Ceratops as well, so on and so forth. Relentless Raptor, 3/3 for 2 with Vigilance. This is a double-edged sword, obviously. Like, if you don't draw your fight spells, your opponent's always got the perfect blocker, that kind of thing. Like, if they have your number, they probably have your number anyway, but like, if this card's bad, you're probably already losing. But you never know. Anyways, it's Vigilance, so it'll keep swinging. But if they got, like, green, drops Lovestruck Beast, yeah, it's a bit tough. And you're probably not winning that match because our stuff does not size to their stuff. It is what it is. Like, we're trying to play a different game, and green we're trying to dodge. That's basically our deck that we're mainly trying to dodge here. Anyway, Regal Leosaur, which is another lovely addition. Ikoria helping out with some more dinosaurs. So, 2/2 for 2, sure, fine. Mutate for 3. Whenever it mutates, other creatures control get +2/+1 till end of turn. Swing back to Imperial Lancer, +2/+1 till end of turn. Pretty good on this card. Converting this into a dino from the mutate would convert its base power toughness to a 2/2. This is a common play that we do. Set it to 2/2, and then let Kaheera do the rest of the work, lording it up to get even larger. And so there's lots of little cross synergies floating around here, even though some of the cards don't look like they necessarily fit the mold. Anyway, Kaheera requires that all of our creatures in our deck be of the list of creature types that you see right there. We can't do that because we're running Pelt Collector and Imperial Lancer. We need 1-drops. Dinos is not exactly known for its 1-drops, so we needed valuable 1-drops, and that's just kind of where it sits. So it's just a random lord we're going to find. Is it high impact most of the time? Not really. No, the fight spells, the enrage, and the proliferates do most of the work. After that, Collected Company. that was just the speed the deck needed at a certain point in time. All the creatures are great. Like, you're not that sad to hit an Imperial Lancer. You're not too sad to hit a Pelt Collector as long as you got a follow-up on when you untap. So, you know, the 1-drops are still okay. And I mean, the only 3-drops being Kaheera. I know that the idea is get a critical mass of 3-drops, but a lot of the cards tend to work well together. They're fine. CoCo doesn't work well with Regal Leosaur. You don't exactly get the mutate, but, you know, maybe you get a Relentless Raptor going. You get some nice stuff going. Anyway, lands are a bunch of pathways, a bunch of shock lands, and that's it. Like, we're not messing around. Those are our lands. If you're wondering the count, 22 lands. The curve is super low. The only thing on 4 is Collected Company. I didn't even change the land base for it, mostly because Buzzriket asked for a few more lands because of the double white costs before. So now that that's gone, I mean, just, you know, freely get 4 mana, no problem. Mana's great for the most part. Pretty easy to do. There is some complications once in a while where you're trying to get Boros and Selesnya. Or, you know, there's sometimes some complications, and sometimes your turns are decided for you. Anyways, I don't even remember what the sideboard is. It's got some stuff in there. I haven't looked at it in forever. It might make sense. I don't know. Yeah, it probably needs a couple things. Raptor Hatchling makes sense versus red. Thalia versus some control stuff, maybe. And Rip against whatever. These probably don't deal with things. The sacrifice deck never even existed way back when. But, you know. Either way, Frostodon against life gain. There's some things in there. Atomic was intended for Nissa, but people were playing Nissa at one point in time. That seems to be no longer the case, or not nearly as much as it used to be. Yeah, whatever. Things change. Sideboard is, you know, take the good things, add, you know, whatever. There's nothing really. There's not much in sideboard with dinos. They don't have niche dinos very much. They're pretty simple. Anyway, let's get in some games. Okay, we're on the draw. We have only a Relentless Raptor and a bunch of Savage Stomps that hope, alright, well, this is the Relentless Raptor that needs to be relentless right about now. Well, that was fun. I mean, if they're playing Divest, we're probably against some sort of, like, you know, Pox or something like that. We need green mana. Green mana is pretty much guaranteed for this hand, for this land, so red is up in the air. Duress, yeah, this is just some stupid discard deck. So I'm not expecting much. I don't expect that I have any control over my plays whatsoever. Just random whatever. I just don't know. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't expect anything here. I expect my opponent to have 5 million removal spells and us to never actually do anything. I didn't know that we'd be running into removal tribal when we... Jesus Christ! Alright, sure, fine, why not? I mean, playing the Murderous Rider ain't helping too much. Alright, it's down. Next. I'll keep the land in hand. It seems to be like just wanton blind hand hate, and if they get stuck on hand hate, I'd rather them fight the lands in my hand than on the ones in play. We don't need many more lands. Rankle, because reasons. You better use sacrifice as a mode there, buddy. Ooh, you chose poorly. Yeah. Saving the land was a good idea. I suppose Primal Might is probably just as acceptable. Nah, we'll go 1 point above. If they don't have creature removal, then fine. Alright. Like, if they just run out of creature removal, then we're great. Who cares? Wow. Pass the turn. If we don't need to play a card, we will not play a card. Oh, Jesus. Now we need to play all the cards. Yep. Now there's no reason for us to hold cards in hand anymore. If there's a waste not in play, then we do not want to give them any benefit. Everything goes to the table now. That is that. Waste not is useless when there's nothing in your opponent's hands, and that's exactly how we intend to play this. Gifted Aetherborn, we're going to walk right into that. Just get it off the table. Move on. We're not letting it slow us down. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep hitting. Because if they hit nothing but hand hate, then we're probably in the clear to win this in a couple turns. That's really how this goes. These discard spells are no good as long as they keep missing like that. Oh, baby! Let's hit them hard! Okay, so they got to draw something relevant this turn. And they didn't! Get wrecked, discard. Half your cards are useless in your deck. Okay, we're on the play. We have Pelt Collector and a couple Kaheeras. Primal Might. Alright, it's not spectacular, but we're on the play with it. So, sure, why not? Open up Temple Garden, I would assume, since, well, Kaheera doesn't care. As long as green mana exists, our opponent is mulling to next to nothing. Please don't be Tybalt's Trickery. And if you do, please miss. That said, we probably have a fast clock, so if they have like a turn 4 Trickery, it's totally possible for us to just absolutely tear them apart before they even get to turn 4. Okay, never mind. That's a freaking spectacular draw! Gimme! Oh, baby! If you want a freaking top deck, that's a pretty good one. I mean, we're going straight into Kaheera after that, unless we need to knock down a Sprite Dragon. Or something like that. You know, whatever we're expecting here. Oh, never mind. We're totally in the clear. Let's just slam them. More green. Kaheera the Orphanguard. Get them to 11. We have a Primal Might to really start pushing really deep into them. Wow, that totally sounded wrong. Anyway. Our opponent's just doing growth spiral shenanigans while we're absolutely... Yeah, that's right. Non-interactive ramp. Forgot to interact. Okay, we're on the draw. We have an Imperial Lancer, Savage Stomp, which is not very good with Imperial Lancer. We have the lands for Collecting Company, which is good enough for me! Our top decks are much better than lands at this point. Whatever this thing is. Oh, we're against Abzan Removal Pile. Lovely. I'm going to open Temple Garden here for the Imperial Lancer. Huatli's Raptor's not the best second pick, but it'll do. It'll turn on Imperial Lancer. Second CoCo. Hello. How are you? No fatal push. Seems pretty safe and clear. Let's get in for 2. Oh, I might realize my actual speaker volume's really high, so if there was any feedback, I'm so sorry. Enchantress's presence, you say? Okay. Get in for 4. CoCo's going to be our friend here soon. We're a little slow. We missed a turn 3. Revenge of Ravens. That doesn't bother me. And get in for 2 rather than 4. CoCo should probably seal this deal, hopefully. We'll see. Our opponent, Pundit of Knight's Reach. They played their land drop for the turn. I think we're good. Kaheera, Pelt Collector. We're just sitting a Primal Might for 5, right? Oh yeah, or 4. Nice, stupid shrine deck. By the way, the shrine decks are just nothing but removal piles. I don't even care about them. Go away. Please die. Never play a Honden in front of me ever again. Okay, we're on the draw versus someone named Simic User, so they better not play Simic or we're out of here. Seriously. You better be a contradiction or I walk. Ugh. Anywhere else is not helping your cause. Alright, Imperial Lancer. If we were on the play, that Llanowar Elf would be long gone. Long gone. Oh, are you going to kill my Imperial Lancer? Scared of the 1/1. Amid Eternal. Okay. Oh, you're so screwing with me, opponent. Yeah, if they were on the... Yeah, we gotta play it different now. So we're going to lose a Relentless Raptor, but they lose the Amid Eternal here. Unless they have a removal spell. Oh, that sucks. It was going to go anyway, but yeah, sure, fine opponent, whatever. You want to be that way? So, with 2 mana open, I have lots of suspicions on my opponent's intentions. Yeah, that's what I thought. If it's nothing but, like, okay, sure, yeah, another removal spell, forget it. Forget it. You don't go Amid Eternal, Llanowar Elves, Amid, yeah, forget it. No. You don't go that combination. Yeah, and not just absolutely have a dominating lead. Like, there's just no freaking way that's going to be anything other than dominating. Alright, we're on the draw, and I've been noticing a pattern of everybody having it on every street so far for a few matches. Heads up, I'll show you at least one of them, but the other ones are just matches where I don't like the opponent's deck. So, screw them. Alright, Pelt Collector into Huatli's Raptor. Lovely combination. Although we can Relentless Raptor and get close if we need to change pace. We'll see what's up. Our opponent, another red source, into Afterbirth of Melodious. Oh wait, no, we're pre-birth right now. Okay, so another Dirtle dot deck, I would assume, and we're going to be facing just board wipe city. Like, I assume that's our next plan. I need a fight spell to clear past the wall. But we'll see what we can do. I can totally buff the team so that wall is useless, though. Like, I convert Pelt Collector into Regal Leosaur. And just tear it apart. Absolutely tear it apart. Our opponent is going to play some removal to ruin my life. Omen of the Sun. I mean, I guess? Is this a polymorph deck? We got to be careful about a polymorph deck right about now. Oh. Relentless Raptor. Still swinging both. Might be able to get some percentage of this in. It is simply a polymorph deck. We'll make decisions a little harder for our opponent later, I guess. Or they're just blocking? I really don't know what's up here. I can't peg my opponent. I'm assuming that they're stalling to Wrath as usual. I would assume that's what it is. Just the same old, nothing's changed. Everything is turn 4 Wrath. Something else? What? What is it? What are you killing? Clearly, you're going to kill something. Ixalan's Binding. Pelt Collector. That's because, yes, a late game Pelt Collector is totally going to do it for me, opponent. Whatever. Just gonna keep slamming some stuff. I need a green source here. Keep swinging. I need a fight spell to get rid of these freaking blockers and make things uncomfortable for my opponent. That's what I really need. Start making some stuff super uncomfortable. I really don't understand the Ixalan's Binding. We haven't seen a CoCo for a while. That'd be helpful. The reason I added them to the deck is because of these decks. Just chipping away at me, and I need something to oomph them. Another Ixalan's Binding? Please stop. They're at 23 with this. And they're going to start binding everything? I need a CoCo. That's better. I need a CoCo, a fight spell, something! To the bottom. Thank you! Alright, this is where she gets fun. Regal Leosaur. Just set it on Huatli's Raptor. And we're going to do an under. Now we're going to fight spell, Savage Stomp. Bam! That doesn't actually do damage because, man! Siegehorn Ceratops has been awful against these creatureless decks. So awful. Like, this is where the deck does not thrive, is all these creatureless decks. Unless you get, like, as long as they do not get a God Curve and you get a decent one, because the fight spells are generally useless. And so all the synergies just kind of fall apart because these decks don't have anything to block you, but they just board wipe you. It's tough. This is why I added CoCo, is to dodge that. But we've been facing a lot of decks that, like this... did I check my dailies? Do I have Kill Creatures quest? Is that what's going on? Is that the joke? Is that you never run into... That's always the joke, isn't it? You never run into a creature deck the moment that you have Kill Creature quest. No, that's not the case here. Alright, well, whatever. I don't know what to say. Okay, we're on the play. We have... Don't do this to me. Fine. We'll take it. It's not even all that great, but we'll take it. It's a mulligan with lands and spells, which is basically my expectation for every single game, is that's what we do. This is why I never mulligan, is because I'm never going to get anything better. I'm always going to get completely worse. But a one-lander is already stating I'm never playing Magic. Speaking of never playing Magic, our Magic hero is busy soaking up the limelight rather than actually playing Magic. You know, PR and all that. You don't do the work, you just look like you do all the work. You can totally join the game now, opponent. Alright! Opponent decided timeout mulligan, so here we go! Get wrecked! This may be single player. Heads up! Okay, we need white mana immediately, right? Always. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, they might join in. I'm giving them the opportunity to join in. Like, I've seen so many people just time out and then immediately join into the game and they're playing. So, never know. Alright, well, they're here now. Mist Cloaked Herald. Oh, aren't you late? I guess that opens up for a Siegehorn Ceratops turn too then. Yes, it's a double striker, opponent. It does more damage than your thing does. if you put something on that Mistcloak Herald, I will absolutely block. Like, it's not even a question. I will block. Well, I can't. It can't be blocked, right? Sure, fine. If they want to play Curious Obsession and never interact with me, I will beat the ever-living bejesus out of them. Like, it's not even close. They will absolutely get a slaughtering. I don't even know what that is, but sure, fine. Oh, that's the crappy equipment? Sure. It does. You had one job to do. Pelt Collector is now useless, right? Yeah. Alright. I needed to land that turn to make Pelt Collector worth my time. Otherwise, it's just too damn slow. So we're just going to beat the bejesus out of them. Hopefully draw a land so that we can actually play Magic while we're at it. Aegis Turtle because Aegis Turtle. And Arcane Flight because Arcane Flight on Aegis Turtle. What in the flying fuck is even going on aside from my mana screw? Like, this is straight up mana screw. There's no other outcome that's going to happen here other than mana screw. That's it. I will go you if you keep slowing this game down even further. Sure. That was an opportunity to sacrifice your Spectral Sailor to get rid of Siegehorn. Now Siegehorn will exist to annoy you a lot. Unless you leave your mana open completely, which is gonna suck. Because I've been mana screwed for way too long. 2 turns missing land drops, just no. Like, it's gonna happen, but come on. Knock it off. My opponent with Aegis Turtle thinking that that's enough defense in a game. Thank you for doing something. That actually went through. See what happens. I don't know. I didn't have a plan after this. Looks like they have some negates. Yes, you absolutely must block that. We're pretty boned. Let's face facts. We're pretty freaking boned. Alright, well, it's still Pelt Collector and still gain power. So they don't have a counter to a creature. They're 2 health. And they're going to play it oh so very carefully. Mantle of Tides, I guess, because perfect timing. Okay. Well, let's see how much you want to block now. How much you want to block now? You may want to consider blocking soon. Yes, block the Siegehorn. Block it. You want it blocked. Yes, block it. It's going to grow, and there's nothing you can do about it. That was actually a pretty good top tech. So, Huatli's Raptor is good. Primal Might is good. And they're wondering if they need to attack with Curious Obsession. Pro tip, that's the 99% of the time why these idiots lose. Is because they attack with the Curious Obsession anyway, and they just don't have any board state when they just, you know, gave me lethal or something. Sure. I see it all the freaking time with them. Nailed it. So, the reason I showed the deck anyway, because Collecting Company worked well with it. Trust me, Buzzard Cat was also freaking spectacular in the deck as well at the time. Because you can just... Huatli's Raptor was so good with it. So good. But Collecting Company edges that out. It is what it is, right? Anyway, I would probably put Buzzard Cat technically in the sideboard. Spectacular card versus Control. Spectacular. Because they're dealing with all this and they're doing all the removal, and then you're just like, Ultimate Buzzard Cat, let's roll. Come on. Let's do this. Yeah. So, yeah, still a real good card. So I would put Buzzard Cat into the sideboard. Big deal. Like, I mean, when something gets nudged out of the main board and it's still good in many matches, you probably, you know, just jam it in the sideboard. Buzzard Cat, real good for this deck. All the proliferates really help, and the indestructible. Like, when Relentless Raptor is forced to attack, and you just go, nah, it's a 4/4 indestructible, and it's coming for you. Bam. Or they have Death Touchers, and you gave it indestructible and Primal Might. Bam. You kill the Death Toucher, get it out of the way, your guy's still going straight forward. Yeah, real good. Indestructible does have its moments. Do you want a Gideon in its place? Gideon can kind of work, but Huatli's Raptor also just says, well, you know, this is apples and oranges. So if you want to use, not this Gideon, screw this Gideon, go away. Gideon Blackblade, giving indestructibles, lifelinks, all that nonsense. Potentially, right? Just this Relentless Force also going in is a possibility. So either one, apples and oranges, as I said. If you want to have a creature at all times, then I would suggest Gideon. If you want to be able to hit that ultimate and just have creatures every single turn for the foreseeable future while your opponent ultimatums you and doesn't care anyway, that's up to you. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the deck. Yeah, big dumb ramp, non-interactive, like 0 creatures, real tough. That's the main thing. 0 creatures, real tough to deal with. The more creatures they have, the better the deck really does. The more interaction points they have, it gets a little tougher, but that's what CoCo was intended to balance out. So, there's some good matches, bad matches. I'm not saying this is the next best deck, because Sacrifice, just like, I'm playing a creature deck. Sacrifice says, I win. So don't worry about that. Don't take it to ranked, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get slaughtered by a Sacrifice. In play queue, it's real good because nobody's playing it there. Real good. So take it there and slaughter some non-interactive decks. Show them that they have to actually care. Bring back some mid-range with it. Hope you enjoyed. Take care, and bye-bye.